What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about when the PS6 and the next Xbox console comes out. Now, this isn't guaranteed, and there's a little bit more to this than just what Xbox or Microsoft thinks, right? But this is probably the most direct that we've ever gotten. So, to play catch-up, we actually have heard stuff in the court about this before, and it came from Sony, came from PlayStation, where they say that they don't expect the next gen to start until at least 2027, okay? That was what they had said, but they never gave, a year. They just said, well, 2027 at the earliest is when it would happen, but they gave no kind of definitive. Well, now we actually hear from Microsoft, from Xbox, right at the other side, and they say they expect it. They expect it to start in 2028. So is that a lock? Not necessarily, but I would say that's a better indicator than Sony's, where it's like, well, we'll give you a year that it absolutely can't happen before it, right? But it could happen after it. For Xbox or Microsoft, they're saying, no, 2028 is when we think it's going to happen. Now, I'll step in with a personal opinion here. We've had, the last several console generations, they come out the same year. Is it possible that the PS6 comes out in fall 2027 and then Xbox comes out in the spring of 28? Yes, but I would put that percentage very low. Not zero, I suppose, but very close to zero. So I would honestly look at this thing from Xbox or Microsoft and say, okay, 2028, which means fall 2028 would be when these consoles come out. Normally they are the fall. Nintendo's obviously jumped around and they don't have to do the fall. They could do whatever they want, but that's what I would think. So 8 years. 8 years. Now, that's a long time, a very long time in between consoles. In that case, I guess that mid-gen refresh thing, right? The PS5.5 or whatever, maybe that is almost necessary then at that point. I don't love those. I don't love when we have those mid-gen console things, but you think, well, is a game going to come out in the summer of 2028, which would be like The Last of Us, right? The Last of Us Part 2 comes out, June of 2020. Ghost of Tsushima is July of 2020. And then 3-4 months later, you have the PS5 come out. Are we going to have a similar situation? Only this time, your console is 8 years old, an extra year, right? So a game comes out summer of 28, and you're playing it on a console you got 8 years ago in November of 2020. That's quite a bit. That's quite a lot. So are you going to need a PS5.5? And, the rumor is that Xbox isn't even doing it, right? Sony would maybe be the only one to do a mid-gen thing. Xbox is going to kind of skip it. So we'll see how that goes, considering then they would expect, which, it's fine. Again, I don't love having to buy a second console in my console generation, but is the Series X going to be able to do it just like the PS5? Can they do it when you're talking about late year 2028? Is everything going to be okay? We'll have to, I guess, wait and see, but there you go. I mean, start circling like your birthday, start thinking about how old you'll be. I can tell you I would be 32 when it happened, which is scary to even think about that I'd be in my 30s, but start thinking about how old you'll be in 5 years this fall, because that's when you'll have to buy one, if not both, which at this point in my life, I think I'd have to buy both consoles day one. So just think about that, ponder that for a bit. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.